All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. Hey, everybody, it's Chris with Sherpa Real Estate. And as promised, we wanted to come on and to give you guys kind of a weekly update of what we're seeing in the real estate market now that COVID is doing what it's doing across the country and kind of with things being on lockdown a little bit more. So we wanted to do that on a weekly basis. We're going to try to do that on Fridays as we pop in here. Calling the COVID sessions just because, I don't know, it sounded fun to me. So I'm going to speak just a few moments about market activity. As you see, I've got a guest with me. I'll introduce her in just a moment, and she and I are going to have a couple of discussion points about kind of what's going on specifically with selling properties now and in the near future and what that looks like. So I'm going to pop over really quickly and share my screen, if you can bear with me, and pull up a few slides to show you what we're seeing here in the market at the moment. Uh-oh, here we go. I can't see my screen. Let me see if I can fix that. All right, here we go. So what we have here, just in brief, 3 slides I want to show you, and these are not all-encompassing numbers. These are just kind of to help give a baseline for where things have been in the past few years and where things are going. This slide represents, this is a 15-year slide, I believe, or 14 maybe. It represents in a big picture the Archuleta County home sales. The volume is the red line and the unit. So the blue is how many units have been sold each year. This is a yearly snapshot, and it starts in 2005. You can kind of follow the trend here and see 8, 9, and 10, our last downturn. Economic downturn was obviously severe, and that's kind of what happened to our sales. And then we've kind of been really rising out of that in an upward market since really 09, 8 actually. And you can see the last 3 or 4 years has been pretty stable, and the sales have been good. It's been a really good few years. And you can also see the sales have been kind of flat and stable, but the prices have been going up. So we've been in, for lack of better words, a bull market in real estate for quite a while now. So that's kind of been the trend line year over year. Let me show you one more thing here, if I can get my slide straight. Let me pull this over a little bit. So this slide here, I want to have a touch point here with the COVID and the states that have been shut down and ordered to stay at home. Colorado here, Governor Polis came online on March 26th, and he said we need to stay at home. And so that was when that happened there. And then about a week before that is really when the country started waking up on a large level to, hey, we have a problem here and we need to deal with it. So the week before Colorado shut down, there were a little over 9,000 cases in the country. And so that's something to think about. And then as I go into this last slide, that'll all make sense. So these 3 lines, the yellow, green, and blue, they're a very simple snapshot of the number of residential homes sold in several counties, actually. So this is kind of the whole western slope. This is La Plata and Mineral and Montezuma and Archuleta and Lake County and Hinsdale County and Ouray County, and I think San Miguel also. So this is kind of the western slope of Colorado, the mountain towns that have a similar but different makeup of buyers that we have. So that's what this represents. And if you this is a 10-week, these are broken up on weekly intervals. So the data is not as large, but I wanted to track this thing as closely as I could to give good information. So you can see starting back in February 1st is where this first week and second week in February and third week. And just as a touch point again, this is when the country had 9,000 cases at this juncture. And then a week later, Colorado ordered the stay-at-home mandate. So you can see the country's warming up to issues of problems around this point. This blue line represents this year, 2020, as the unit sales. So that doesn't take a lot of explanation to see what's going on. I'll speak to it a little bit. Just keep in mind, real estate sales take 30 to 45 days to mature. So there's a lag time in this data. But, it stands to reason that properties that were under contract in this time frame, some of them went on to close, some of them did not. So there was probably some fallout that started happening here. And as we move forward, we're going to see what happens here. So I'm going to bring this slide back. I might dress it up a little bit, church it up a little bit. That's not the prettiest slide, but I'm going to bring this slide back as we go through a time here to see what happens, because I want to get a really accurate picture of what things look like in Pagosa Springs and in the surrounding counties. So look for that to happen soon. All right, I've got one more thing I've got to do here. Stop sharing my screen. And you notice this beautiful lady is sitting beside me here. This is Denise McCabe. She's been with us for several years, and she's an associate broker here with Sherpa Real Estate. And I won't belabor that. I will let her introduce herself. So, Denise, I have a question that I haven't asked you this. I'm going to spring it on you, right? But I think this is a good question to ask, and that is, how did you find Pagosa Springs? And tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to Pagosa.
Well, I was just thinking as we were going to start this question and answer process that I was enchanted by Pagosa Springs as a young girl in 1975. I was very, very young then, extremely young. But yeah, so my aunt and uncle moved here. They still live here, and I came to visit, and I knew that was where I wanted to be. So I finished college. I came, had a career here teaching, and met my husband here, and yeah, so that's how I came to Pagosa Springs from the South, from the deep South.
And all the parents watching are so appreciative of you as a teacher, even more now than they ever were.
Yes.
Teaching the kids.
Yes. I saw one of my former students today from a distance, but she was like, I don't know how y'all did it.
Yeah. Well, Denise has agreed to kind of come in here and have a little bit of a discussion with me, and we're going to revolve a couple of questions I'm going to ask Denise about kind of sellers. What do sellers do during this time? We've had different questions revolving around what we can do and what we can't do in real estate. And currently, as of today, there's no in-person showings happening. So there's a very strict social distance policy happening in the real estate industry, and we're abiding by that also. But I know there are people out there who had planned on selling their home, Denise, in the summer, and they're kind of thinking, what's this going to do for us? And where are we going from here? So a couple of questions we've had internally is, what do we think will happen? Will we get an uptick or downturn in the market once things kind of clear out? And, are there people that are wanting to come here? And so I thought I would just throw that question at you. And what's your opinion on that?
Well, I used the word enchanted earlier about Pagosa, and I just, I feel like, and I know most of us feel like Pagosa Springs is still a very enchanting place. And I think that people are going to begin to realize, and have already started to realize more than ever, that can be nice to get out of the city, get into a less polluted area, maybe raise their kids in a smaller school district, or come here to retire. I know in some of the past crises that we've had, we've definitely seen people moving to areas like this one, and specifically to Pagosa Springs from the Southeast, where there have been hurricanes and tornadoes, and California, where there have been fires. And not that we don't lack some of those things, but for the most part, we have a great climate, and it's just a great place to be. So, I think people have started to realize that they can come here and work from home. In Archuleta County, we are actually finally starting to get more internet capability so that people can work from home. All last summer, there were, what do you call those cables that they fiber optic cables, that they're burying, and they're doing more work to make this a better place for people to come to work from home. I actually have some longtime clients from Arizona that have finally, after having a part-time place here, have sold their house. They'll be here the first week of May to live full-time because he can now work from home in Pagosa Springs. So it's still a great place. It's still a great place to come to. It's still a great place to raise kids. It's still a great place to retire. It's still a great place. I mean, we're empty nesters, and we still work, and it's still a great place to be. I think people will be realizing that more and more. So.
I know I never want to say it too loud online or on Facebook or Instagram, but I feel so fortunate that we still can get out and stretch our legs in the national forest, and
yes,
a lot of people locked down around the country who can't do that. So, man, what a truth that is, for sure. So, given the fact that I just showed these charts that cells are falling off, and it's kind of scary, but one of the things that you and I and the other team talk about in the office and talk about with our colleagues is, it's slow right now, but if I am planning on listing this summer, should I do it now? Can I do it now? Should I wait? If someone's asking that question about timing, the president last night rolled out a 3-phase program to open up the country. I know that's going to take time, but it looks like there could be some light to that, right? And so with a blink of an eye, 4, 6, 8 weeks has gone by. So for someone who's thinking about listing now versus waiting, do you have any thoughts for those guys?
We anticipate the stay-at-home order not lasting forever. And if it doesn't last for more than another month or so, we're kind of anticipating that things are going to begin to pick up again. They're going to, look good. We've already said people will probably be wanting to come here. And right now, to be honest, we have low inventory. And it might be a good time to really start that process, to start thinking about what do I need to do to get my home ready, and where am I going to go if I do sell my home, and and all those things. There's probably, or we're hoping there's going to be kind of a pent up demand to buy as people start thinking about coming here. So, we think, of course, that, the sooner you get your home ready and on the market, the better. If it's a second home and it's vacant, we could list it now. Now, having said that, we still have some pretty strict guidelines, as Chris said. We can't do any in-person showings. But we can still get the photography done, take the virtual tours, get it online, all the things that we can do to get it out there in the online world. So, and that being said, there's some things that we could do for sellers now to begin to help you get ready. And I think I'm going to let Chris speak to that about, if I'm a seller, what can Sherpa do for us right now as we're getting ready and thinking about selling. So
yeah, that's a good question. We get that question from time to time, and I think for us being in the industry, sometimes we forget because we do the behind the scenes work all the time as a second nature. But I know that people are locked in at home and they think, well, everything's dead. I can't do anything. I'm just going to sit here and, wait. I would suggest for your question, there's a whole lot of things that could be done right now, aside from the actual preparation of the home, cleaning up your landscaping in your yard and all the cleaning and decluttering and painting and things like that. That's obviously a homeowner should be doing that if they're getting ready. But aside from that, we now have the tools to practically do all parts of the pre-listing right now without entering your home. So our database, Corinne has 14 or 15 years worth of detailed data. So if you've purchased your home in the last really 15 years, we've got a lot of information on your home, the county websites and the county information. We know square footages and room orientations and floor plans. Obviously, we know neighborhoods and areas. So we could begin giving really accurate comparative market analysis to know where your house needs to be priced in the market. Obviously, a phone call with you could help us, say what improvements. Say we put granite countertops on and we redid the floors, and we can kind of add that into our equation. So we can really do all of the pre-work to get a home ready on the market, to know what the marketing strategy should be, know what the pricing strategy should be, even have the listing agreement, because everything's electronic online. The listing agreement's already in place to literally have it ready to push the button, send a photographer out, the day that we're able to, right? So, and that takes a while, and it takes a bit of energy for us, for sellers. So if you're thinking about listing anytime this year, I would encourage you to reach out to us. Let us get ahead of the ballgame with that. We can do these market analysis based on what we know now. And then, of course, later on down the road, if the market shifts, which it very well may, and softens, we'll know how to help adjust those prices. So there's not much we can't do right now, even though it may feel like we're all locked down. So that's the beauty of living in 2021 with Zoom, and good tools at our disposal. So good question. So that's kind of all I had. Denise, do you have anything else to add, or anything you want to comment on as we depart here and shut it down?
I don't. I was just wondering how you managed to get a haircut.
Well, one of my favorite memes out there is all you guys are jealous of me now because I've been cutting my hair for 20 years, just with this. So I didn't mean the glare is not, affecting you guys. So.
Yeah.
Denise, thank you. This is fun. Denise has been with us for, it's been 3 years now?
3 years.
3 years. And she's a pillar of our company and just adds so much to our company. So a lot of you know her. So thank you for coming and sharing your knowledge. And I am going to say bye until next time. If you have any questions at all about the market, please give us a call, 970-444-2570. And we're going to make it a habit to be back weekly on Fridays in the afternoon. And we're going to rotate through some special guests. We're going to have some real estate brokers who are very smart like Denise around, but we're also going to pull from maybe some financial analysts, some lenders. I would like to get some town people involved with, restaurant owners and things like that. So that's our goal, to help keep you informed as we walk this thing out. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the spring weather.
Everybody hang in there.